All right. All right. Wondering if is it better now? Can you guys we good? All right. Just checking it out as we go. This is part 2. All right. Mata, you in here? All right. Can you hear me? Everything good? All right, cool. All right, yeah. Yeah, started the last live and didn't chat wasn't enabled. Didn't work. Perfect. We're back. Like we never left, right? Starting to Starting to see some of the gang trickle in. It's late. It's later than I thought I would be. Yeah, our regular program has started back up. What up, Big Mike, Raymond, Mata, Alex, John, Jason, the gang? I don't know. Did you guys see that thumbnail? Felt like I, you know, was working on it. Thought about it. Thought that I needed to put a better product out there than the Chat GPT one that I did last night. My guy did that. My dude. Yeah, love sending him stuff like that. Rich, what up, man? Red Roach is a great nickname. I think that's the funniest nickname anyone's ever given me. I love it. I love it. I don't think that guy realized that I'm just gonna take that nickname and run with it now and just roll with the punches. So we'll keep it going, man. It's gonna be that's a good one. That's a good one. I really like that one. Bro, any of you guys watch football? That Thursday night football game is going on right now. Rams are nasty. They were an underdog tonight too. They were an underdog. That hurts. That hurts. Make it my logo, the Red Roach. Yeah, we'll see what we got. Hey, all right. Did any of y'all watch the hot stove? The Yankees hot stove. Was there a hot stove? I saw Jack Curry saying something about Amai or Ime didn't sound optimistic. Didn't sound optimistic. I don't know if they're I don't know. That one's gonna be a fun one to follow. We'll see what we got. Yeah. What do we think? What do we think? Did it I saw he said that there would be news soon, but it and then I saw someone else say something like, "It doesn't seem like it's optimistic news for Ime." So, I don't think that I saw something else. Like, we'll get right to that because it blows my video. Like, my put a dynamite on the video that I did today. Did Michael King really just sign? Or is that something that Michael King back to the Padres? That's not real, right? That's not real. Or is it? I keep seeing that the Padres are trying to, I don't know. I think it's weird. All this stuff that comes out as time goes on where it's like like Padres are talking about how their championship window is kind of over, and I guess that they just spent way more money than they wanted to spend, and so you start to see that they're open to guys being sent off, aka like Mason Miller, and then you let Dylan Cease and Michael King hit free agency, and you haven't really seen anything about them being signed back. So that's the interesting thing. I'll say this, guys. I saw something today from a guy that's with Forbes, and it said that Cody Bellinger is seeking 8 years, $400 million. If that is the case, then the video that I did today is completely blown up. It's disintegrated, and at that point, you go and I don't know what you do. But if Cody Bellinger is going after 400 million, I got to get back in the game if that's the case. My God, get a little piece of that pie. God, 400,000,000 for Cody? That'd be crazy. Yeah. 8 years? What is Cody? Like, he's probably about my age, so his contract would be ending around 40-ish? Yeah. Dude, hey, guys, if Cody Bellinger is going out and trying to get $400,000,000 and he gets $400,000,000 from somebody that's willing to pay, I hope Yankees fans aren't upset because at that point, the dude is able to just go out and get absolutely life-changing money, and so if someone wants to offer it to him and hand it to him, I mean, every single one of us in that chat's taking it. So, um, but I mean, dude, I mean, if you think about it, though, a few years ago, I mean, I know, Alex, you just said no chance, or, Cola, you said no chance. Wait, yeah, Cola. A few years ago, that's what they were saying whenever he was a rookie, you know what I mean? Like, him and Judge were side by side in that Rookie of the Year race, and then he was almost gonna break the Rookie of the Year, or the rookie home run record, and then it was very plausible to see that Cody Bellinger could fuck around and get, like, a $300+ million contract, so to see that 400 is being attached to his name right now is, I mean, that's something to follow. I mean, I feel like that one is interesting because whenever I did the video today, I was looking at him and Kyle Tucker's stats side by side, and, I've never really looked at them side by side, and, there's areas that Cody's better than Kyle Tucker, and then there's areas that, um, Kyle Tucker's better than Cody, and so it's one of those things where it's just like, I feel like if you believe that the floor not the floor, the ceiling of both of their offensive potentials aren't that far off, like, I think that Kyle's maybe more of a little bit of, like, an offensive threat in terms of, like, a higher OPS and maybe might have more homers, but if you think that they'll be kinda close in terms of what they'll do at the end of the season, then that's why I'm leaning towards Cody makes more sense because I thought that he'd be a little less money and could play multiple positions, but now it seems to me that if he's getting 400,000,000, then I don't know who to go after then. I mean, if I don't know if you can get either of those guys the way that Hal Steinbrenner's talking about not turning a profit. That one's crazy. Yeah, Yankees aren't gonna pay that much. Steve Cohen's got the money. That's facts. Tucker, again, I said it last night. If you guys are repeat watchers, I don't understand the thought of giving any of these free agents in the offseason $400,000,000 this offseason. I mean, I think the ceiling was Otani. Soto kinda came close to striking distance with that deal, and then anyone else after that, I feel like it's hard to justify it whenever Aaron Judge is just continuously winning the MVPs, and these guys just they aren't better than him. That's gonna be my argument forever. Until they're better than Aaron Judge, then they shouldn't be paid more than him, at least if you're a straight offensive player. So, according to ESPN, the projected number is about 6 years, 180. That's what ESPN said, yes. And then the Forbes guy, again, I don't know how often Forbes is breaking baseball news. They certainly love to do the whole like, what's your net worth stuff and everything. So, hey, maybe Scott Boras is leaking some info to some people that don't get the chance to break news that often. This is a weird offseason, Mark. I do agree. I do agree. I You know what? Steve Cohen is doing the casino thing. That's an interesting thing too. Did Michael King really just sign to the Padres? Like you guys are spamming me right now. Hold on. Hold on. Michael King. Wow. What the 75 million. Wow. Michael King decided on a $28 million player option or a $5 million option. He would have a $30 million option in 2028. Michael King, 3 years, $75 million. So there you go. There you go, people. There you go. Michael King off the board for the Yankees. So this is where I'll start the live. That's great. That's great for Michael. That's great for Michael. Good for him. But this is what I'll start with the live, okay? I'll say it right here. Just gonna check something. Why do I feel like the Yankees don't wanna like actually compete next year? Like I know that they do. Again, I know that their starting rotation is really good, but then again, there's some issues with the guy's health, and then you'll have a few guys' health. You're gonna have Rodon coming back, Cole's gonna be coming back, Clark Smith's gonna be half the season gone, and then at this point, you wonder really what the Yankees are gonna do in terms of the bottom half of that lineup or left field, and then they're kinda punting that, third base option, shortstop's kinda left up for grabs, it seems like. They're talking about maybe trading Jazz, like, it turns into this like, to me, it's a legitimate question in a few weeks, if not much has changed on this Yankee roster, to start wondering if they really are just okay with not winning. Like, and by not winning, I mean really not trying to go for being the World Series contenders. Because again, I don't know what game they're watching. There's holes in that. I mean, again, we're just seeing all the players that we've seen them linked to, they're gone. They aren't able to like push them across the finish line. So it really makes you wonder what's causing these players to not wanna go there. Are the Yankees like, is their wallet frozen right now? You know? Are they do they just not wanna go out and give a guy a little bit extra money to get him, you know? Because everyone overpays to a certain extent. I mean, Michael King just got $75,000,000. So and that's a guy that spent a lot of time on the injured list with some pretty significant injuries over the last few years. So there's risk that comes with that, and I don't know. Curious to see if there's anything about what the Yankees offered him or the Orioles or the Red Sox, because you didn't see anything about the Padres being a sneaky chance to sign him back. But maybe, Michael probably loved it there. So yeah, I did see Hicks is getting another million this year, something like that. Clint, thank you as a lifelong fan. It's dope that players like you give back. Appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be here. I mean, it's cool to be here in like real time while someone's actually signing an 11 o'clock p.m. 11 p.m. signing. That's pretty sick. So, you know, we we're just we're just gonna keep chugging along. We're gonna keep chugging along. I got a cat on the stairs screaming. Hold on. So, Michael King to the Padres. All right, let's get the chat rolling a little bit with this question right here. If Michael King was somebody that we actually think that the Yankees might have gone after, who is like do we feel like do you guys, at least not me, do you guys feel like where the Yankees starting rotation is at right now and where it will be that they need to add another starter or not? Do you want to see another starter get added? Because to me, I think you need to. I do. I think that you need to. I really do. So, okay. Yeah, you're right. You can never have enough pitching. Looking at the lay of the land right now with the Yankees' arms right now, they have some guys that are injured. So, yeah, you can never stack too many arms on top of one another. And you do have Will Warren and Luis Hill that maybe when all the dust settles aren't going to be in that rotation. I don't know. I mean, I know that they like Will Warren. I've said it the other day. I believe that Luis Hill could be one of the first ones out of that rotation and maybe slotted into a long relief role. He could be a nasty closer. His stuff plays up. So, yeah. Alvarez, what's up? The Red Roach. Yeah. I don't know. I wanted them personally to go and get Michael King, but that's gone. It's gone with the win. And if we're gonna get some news here in the next day or a couple of days that says that they're out on Ime, oh man, I'm thinking of titles in my head for a video right now. You know what I mean? Titles, titles to come out and just raise the roof. Get that rage bait going. So yeah, I do think that to a certain extent, like I saw something today. I think it was a guy on the WFAN or something. WFAN is where people go to let their feelings out. I'm starting to realize that maybe I need to do something similar to that. Maybe I need to get like a Google number, get a little voicemail where people can call in or something, and we just hash it out and just talk and get some interaction. I thought about trying to reach out to somebody and seeing if they wanted to come on and be a collaborator with me in the live tonight, but inviting a person in would mean that I'd have to go to like Streamlabs, and I didn't want to do that tonight. So, yeah, I mean, Alex, I've seen that question a few times from you. Did I like playing with the Yankees or Cleveland better? Well, I only played in the minors with the Cleveland Guardians, Cleveland Indians, whichever one. I enjoyed their minor league system. They were a little weird too with some stuff that they would do, but I thought that that was a pretty good experience. Um, Personally, would have loved to get a chance in the big leagues with them and just see how it went, but didn't get that opportunity. So we'll see. No, no, but Alex, you're good. I'm just the chat's rolling and I just keep going and keep forgetting. MLB channel. Do I think they'll bring Belly back? Listen, if $75 million was too much for them to give Michael King, maybe again, different positions, different things, but 400 million if 400 million is something that Scott Boras is going after with his contracts right now, I don't know who's going to give him that. I don't know who is. If that's what he wants, I mean, okay, let's play devil's advocate, right? If you go to Baseball Reference or StatMuse or whatever and you type in and you look at Cody Bellinger's stats side by side with Kyle Tucker's stats, there are areas that Cody Bellinger had a better season than, had more homers. He had less stolen bases. I think he had more walks, a couple more extra base hits. Kyle Tucker had a higher OPS plus. So like they kind of go back and forth a little bit. So if you're thinking about it from like a standpoint of like contractually, if their numbers aren't that high off, and Kyle Tucker's thinking that he's going to go out and get 400 million, then Cody Bellinger sure as hell should be trying to do it too. I mean, the worst the teams can say is no. They could pivot, say 350 to 300, who knows, but shoot for the stars. So, um, uh, of the mic, how'd that feel to get DFA'd in front of everybody right there, bud? TFA'd. Mm, hit the showers, meat. Put him in a timeout, Mata. Give him that, yeah, put him in a timeout. I know that you can do like 24-hour timeouts. Let him time him out for at least 24 hours. Let him think about what he's doing. And if he comes back with another account, at least say that it's you coming back with another one. But put him in a timeout. We're gonna put him on everyone look at him and laugh. OF, whatever. Random one. How do they know you're a player and not an imposter when entering the stadium? Do they have a palm print or a reader? That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good one. 24 hours, Mata. Sit and think about what you just did right there, bud. Sit and think about it. We're all going to be sitting here waiting for your answer whenever you come back next 24 hours to let us know what you came up with. But till then, think about it. You have ID cards. They'll give you ID cards. In the big leagues at least. And then, you build up like a certain rapport with a lot of the people that are standing at the gate. Because for the most part, they're just not going to let a random person in. But I have seen some videos on Instagram where some people imposter some stuff, and I don't know how real it is, but it looks like they're walking through the stadium sometimes. And if you got the balls to put on an outfit and make it look like where you're walking, then you could maybe get in the stadium. But for the most part, you have IDs like MLB player cards, and I'm not gonna lie, bro, I pulled that out a few times. Pulled it out in random places sometimes. It's nice. It's like a license, but it just says like Major League Baseball and it's got your picture on it and your team and all this. So yeah, dude, imposter his way onto college graduation. That's hey for content nowadays. Like the way that some of these people like blow up and put some content out there and get some money. I mean, I got a friend that I know that will just like repeat post the same video on TikTok and he'll make like $5,000 a month off of it because he thinks that people actually aren't going to his profile to see how many times he's posted it. So he'll just repeat post it and just keep it rolling. And the video does pretty well and he goes from there. Hey, Clint, would you still pivot from Bellinger to Bichette? So okay, yes. Yes, and let me tell you why I would do that, okay? Maybe that's a good question. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. We're gonna get a little debate going right here. What did Donnie say? Hold on. Donnie, did you just come in here with that Did you retract it? Okay, you retracted. I thought you got put in timeout. My bad, Donnie. My bad. Salute back. I thought you got DFA'd again. There's a lot of people that come in here and, we had someone last night that mm, boy, Donnie, salute. All right, here's a question. Let's get the chat going in this one. I'd like to see what y'all have to say because this is good. This is good. This gives me video feedback, right? So this is my perspective, right? So you've got Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones that might be your left fielders for the Yankees next year. In my opinion, I believe that right now, um, Jason Dominguez has yeah, my bad, Donnie. I thought your message got retracted because you said something crazy. Salute back. Um, I think Jason Dominguez will be the starter. I have a hard time thinking that Spencer Jones will get that job from him. I think that strikeout rate that he had in the minor leagues is going to be kind of hard to overcome in terms of decreasing it as you go up the ladder. His stance is very uncomfortable looking too. So, not that that has to do with anything, but it just looks weird to me. But I guess I'm one to talk. Sorry, my cat. But anyways, I feel like if we're thinking about it, where left field is at, and where shortstop is at, if you can't get Cody Bellinger, or you're seeing that Cody Bellinger is maybe actually going to stand firm and wants something in the realm of the 400 million or 300, let's just say 300 is like the bottom dollar, because I didn't think it was going to be that high, and I really haven't seen numbers attached to him. But if you're thinking about where your team is at right now, if I were to look at the Yankees and I were to say that I'm gonna give a full season of at bats to somebody, I'd rather give a full season of at bats to Jason Dominguez than Anthony Volpe right now, okay? I think Anthony Volpe, obviously coming back from the injury, I think Anthony's gonna have a lot that he has to prove. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of weight on his shoulders whenever he steps back in. So, if we're thinking about what position do you wanna be, like, a little less efficient in, I don't wanna be less efficient at the shortstop position. I don't. I think that if you've got a chance to put a premium shortstop in there, now I know that there's some question marks, maybe a little bit around, um, Bo Bichette's, like, defensive capabilities, but as far as hitting goes, like, that's what you rely on. You know that he's gonna go up there, put productive at bats up, and so I think that if we're gonna pivot and you have to choose between one of the 2, and you actually have a legitimate chance to sign both of those guys, I I think that you seriously should consider Bo Bichette. You know what I mean? I do. Yeah, because Steve, you're onto something because I said in my video that there are guys that the Yankees are currently outwardly speaking about, and they're talking about how we will need a bounce back season from these guys and that they expect more from these guys. And those guys are Anthony Volpe, um, Austin Wells, guys like that. And I feel like there are teams out there that could be in need of those guys. They're younger guys. They have some control left for them. So you could maybe package both of those guys together, get a pretty decent haul back, roll with JC as your starting catcher next year. We'll see. And then know that Ben Rice is your emergency catcher. Maybe you have a guy in AAA that's on the 40 man or something. But, I think that maybe like all I'm getting at right here is I would trade Anthony Volpe before I would trade Austin Wells. I don't think that we necessarily should trade Wells yet. But I would trade Volpe before I trade Wells, and I would give Wells more at bats than I would give Volpe, given the state of what it looked like. So yeah, I would pivot from Bellinger to go to Bichette if it meant that there was a legitimate chance to put a premium player at that position because shortstop and center field are the 2 most, like, important positions on the field outside of a catcher. And so, yeah, I mean, Donnie, if you think that Spencer's gonna rake, I mean, that's a good comment, or that's a bold statement. I don't know. I don't know. Catcher used to be the weak spot in Lions, but I think it's one of the strongest now if you look around the league. Thanks, Clint. Appreciate it. This isn't what's happening. Yeah, with the way cash, man. Wells stays for sure. I do think Wells stays. I think Volpe needs a change in scenery. I think Volpe could but here's the thing, like this is the reality, and this is kind of the issue that I think that the Yankees are having right now, right? So they did all this like PR stuff around um Anthony Volpe, talked him up, never really made it seem like he was actually struggling the way that he was. And so then they kinda waved the white flag a little bit. I did find it, like, a little peculiar that I've seen multiple times as recent as the winter meetings where Cashman will come out and say that he believes, in his own personal opinion, that the shoulder injury that Volpe had caused his season to fall a little bit. But then Boone will go against that and be like, "Yeah, I don't think that that was really a problem right there." And so I don't for me, I'm like, if you're wondering at times how there's disconnect, if there's disconnect between the manager and the GM, then imagine the disconnect between the players and the GM. Because if the manager and the GM, who talk every single second of the day, aren't on the same page and can't agree and will both publicly try to go the opposite direction, and like obviously if Volpe did get hurt, you could assume that it did affect him to a certain degree, but he did play the entire season. And I will say this, it does not make you swing at the bad pitches that he swung at, like that shoulder injury, it doesn't do that. That's a product of a lot of other things. And so when we're talking about Volpe, the situation with him, in my mind, is that they've done so much PR around making people think that Volpe's gonna be fine, that if they send him to the minor leagues, which he has options, if they send him to the minor leagues, dude, the New York Post, the NewJersey.com, New York Daily News, all these companies, it's just gonna be headlines like "Down goes Volpe," "Yankees wave the white flag." It'll put like a serious amount of pressure on that kid and could basically, I mean, it could really mess with his head. So I think they are in a fragile state with that one. They're gonna have to think very carefully about what they do, because if they bring him back up and he underperforms the way that he did, and then you've got nobody else to play that spot, because I know they want to talk about Jose Caballero, but then if we're talking about, and again, I say all of this like respectfully, there's just never me trying to like come at players. I know that I'm very aware that I'm sitting in this chair, not on the field with those guys anymore. But when we think about how far the Yankees have actually fallen in some of the places that former stars used to play those positions in, I just don't really know how the best spots on the field are manned by some of the guys that they are so very strongly confident in bouncing back, or, doing the Yankees a good thing. Because when I think about the way that the Yankees used to be, like I'm looking at this is gonna be a bold statement, and I know it's bold, and I'm not comparing the 2 players, but I'm just talking about, like, from years past, right? Like, Jazz Chisholm playing second base is like Robinson Cano vibes minus a lot, but you know what I mean, as far as how good of a player you have manning that position, and you're like, "Damn, we got a second baseman that actually pops the ball." And then third base used to be A-Rod, and now third base isn't anyone like A-Rod, and then shortstop used to be Jeter, and shortstop's not anything like Jeter, and then came Didi Gregorius, and then came Glaber, and then it's just like, damn, like we used to really have some absolute beast at these positions, and now we're in a holding pattern a little bit. So, I mean, if the Yankees trade for Seager, Seager's a beast, guys. I got the chance to do spring training with Seager for a few weeks. He's great. His routine is actually sick. I have no doubt in my mind that if he was a New York Yankee, that you guys would absolutely love what he does. Because what he does is when he's hot and he's on, mm, his hitting ability is insane. It really is. So, yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, I mean the shoes are. No, I know, Cole. I know. That's why I said it's a crazy statement that I wasn't comparing the two. I'm just talking about if we're thinking about how there's shades of like good players at the positions that they have currently versus the positions that they had in the past. Like Jazz playing second is a lot better than Volpe playing short and McMahon playing third. And obviously, I know that what they've had in the past is a lot better than what they currently have. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I mean, look, Seager talk ain't real. That's not gonna happen. Chris Young already came out and said that he's not trading Seager. That's not gonna happen. Yankees are gonna have to look elsewhere. I said a few weeks ago on a episode that, if they don't get Bo Bichette, they should look into trying to go and get Mason Wynn from the Cardinals. You know, he's best shortstop statistically last year, has an absolute bazooka of an arm, young guy. You could believe that he could hit a little bit more. And the Cardinals look to be a team that might be okay with trading some people away. So if that's the case, you know, if they're waving the white flag, then go see. Like give him Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe, but maybe not Austin Wells, but give him Volpe and a couple arms, you know? Like I don't know. I don't know what that price tag would be. So thoughts on Bichette at second or Bichette at shortstop? I don't want to put I don't want to put Anthony Volpe at second base. Like I mean, listen, I mean, here's a case to be made. I haven't even said this on the pod or the show or live or anything. Anthony Volpe would be a really good backup shortstop for the Yankees. You could venture out to say that he might be the best backup shortstop that they have or that a team could have. Um, but maybe not the best starting shortstop. You know, when I think about people who used to come in and play shortstop for the Yankees in the past, you know, we would have like we'd have Ronald Torreyes come in, and then we'd have Tyler Wade come in, and so you put Anthony Volpe there, and if he shows shades of that Gold Glove season he had at short, then you're really not, you know, you're not going to be hurt. But I don't know what he's going to do defensively because it looked like he fell off a cliff last year, and so we're gonna we're gonna have to work on that. And I got cats all around me, guys. That's why I'm looking around. I got 3 orange cats to the right, but yeah, I mean, hey, Stephen Kwan would be a great addition in left field because he will play the position very well. He'll hit pretty well. You can't really expect that a lot of thump is going to come from that, but you could assume that he would pull some balls out of the ballpark. But as I said in the past, I keep referencing my videos because you guys are just making me think about it. Yankee Stadium is built for right-handed hitters. I know that's a bold statement. I know that maybe majority of you guys might not believe me whenever I say that, but a guy like Stephen Kwan might have a little bit of trouble at Yankee Stadium, given the dimensions in left field, because he does like to go the opposite way a lot. And if he doesn't have enough juice to hit it out of the ballpark, it's a lot of fly balls out there. So that's what makes right field a little bit scary for some of these guys is that if they can only hit it out to right field, then left field just becomes an automatic out if they leave it in the air a little bit. What trade works, Quan? Maybe Jason and Warren? How many years left does Quan have on that contract? Didn't he sign like a pretty team friendly deal? Um, isn't that the case? Like, I think he signed a pretty team friendly deal from my understanding. So 1 or 2 years. I don't know if you would even like. Is Jason Dominguez and Will Warren an overpay for Stephen Kwan? Like, I mean, is that real? Like, do we actually think that would be a fair trade? Or I mean, I just don't know, guys. I'm having a hard time giving up Jason Dominguez right now because all I ever heard from the Yankees officials was like, "This guy's the next Babe Ruth." And if you're trading Babe Ruth for a Punch and Judy, then they just lied to us the whole time, you know? So I don't I don't know. I don't know. I'm sitting here waiting, hoping that the Yankees do something, but I mean, I feel like right now it's very realistic to say that the Yankees could be the third best, fourth best team in the AL East right now where it stands and see where it finishes. I mean, obviously they could sneak up on some guys, maybe perform better when that I do believe that when that starting rotation gets back healthy, that there could be some reasons to fret if you're an opposing team coming to town. If those guys are firing on all cylinders, they could save some games, but the bullpen needs some arms. The lineup needs more hitters. Defense needs more defense. I mean, there's holes and I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know what the I don't this is a weird offseason for the Yankees, but it's still early. You know what I mean? It's still early, but again, I've never followed majority of the off seasons this closely, but I don't remember this many off seasons where I saw that the Yankees lost all the guys that they were kind of attached to. Um Good, like, big names, you know what I mean? They always make one big splash every offseason, it feels like. I mean, Yankee Fresh, I know that someone asked this last night about Luis Arias, and I don't where's he playing? Like, where is he playing? You know? Like, Luis Arias is the guy to me that if you sign him and you're the Yankees, you're signing him to sit the bench. You know what I mean? Like, there's nowhere for him to play. He's a terrible defender, isn't he? Like, I mean, I don't think he's got a real position that much. I don't I mean, do I think Stanton will play a full season? The Stanton stuff is that's it's unique the way that they talk about him. They talk about his body like it's like a guy whose arm might fall off if he sneezes. You know, like they worry about him. They walk on eggshells with him whenever he moves around. But I don't know if he will. I mean, he doesn't run fast enough to get hurt, but he can still get hurt. And I feel like he's kinda I mean, his situation is unique to me because he did really well last year whenever he played, but he's so concreted to just playing only DH. And then if you put him in the outfield, then you know damn well that you're gonna be sacrificing some defense. And then if you take him out in like the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, then you know that you just took out your 3rd, 4th, or 5th batter in the lineup to put in a defensive replacement guy. So as far as Stanton goes, I don't know what the temperature check on him is with the fan base. Like, I don't know if they love him there, if they feel like he's holding them back to a certain extent. I don't know if it's like it might be my best way to sum it up is it might be a little bit of like a love hate. You know what I mean? You love him, but then you're like, damn, like Judge can't get any off days because of that. Judge needed those off days last year with that arm. So that's the thing. So hope Stanton can bend his elbows. Stanton is built like a Greek god. Okay. That is an absolute fact. Like that dude is absolutely shredded, absolutely jacked out of his mind. So to know that there's issues with the durability sucks. Padres are signing Michael King 3 years. Yeah, Turner, welcome. That we someone broke that news in here. That was crazy. But 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 where would IKF play? That's what I'm wondering here is are we talking about players that would be on the bench? IKF is not a starter. Not in the he's not a starter for this team. That doesn't move the needle. There are players out there that move the needle. They don't they don't need to I don't think they need to go back down that road again. You know what I mean? So, yeah, right. The Padres were kind of acting like they were broke a little bit, and then all of a sudden, bam, 75 million. Michael King, baby, opening day starter right there, probably, or maybe Pavetta or someone else. But good for them. Yeah, I mean, okay. Here's okay, guys. Here's a good one that I saw today. Nico Horner. I saw that the San Francisco Giants were interested in Nico Horner. That one is funny to me because the Cubs were contenders. And so I don't know if why they would be shopping him or if they are shopping him, but Nico Horner was a primary shortstop for majority of his career. And then he's won some gold gloves at second base. So Nico could be one of those guys that if you're okay putting him back at shortstop, I would rather give him his bat to ball skills are some of the best in baseball. Like, but here's the other thing. Nico has a little bit of durability issues too. He does. He plays his ass off. He goes hard, but he has gotten hurt a few times. But putting him at shortstop, I'd rather have him at shortstop than anyone else that we've heard for the Yankees. So I wouldn't hate to see that. I do find it interesting that shortstops and second basemen can kind of flip flop pretty well because you don't see Jazz Chisholm playing shortstop. So when they can play short and second, it's like, damn, it's pretty good. You don't You don't see that often. So, strike blitz. No way, buddy. I know that's rage bait right there. I know you don't mean that. Nico and Hap sign Belly. I mean, Hap in left field wouldn't be terrible. See, that's the thing is Grisham might be throwing a wrench in some plans too, you know? I know that like when I just feel like with the Grisham stuff, I never heard teams talk so with like lack of optimism at times. They're kind of like, yeah, we're hoping that he can repeat that season. It's like you're hoping. I just heard Brian Cashman at the winter meetings or whenever he was sleeping in his sleeping bag on the sidewalk, I think maybe he was like, yeah, we Trent Grisham kind of came out of nowhere. It's like came out of nowhere, and you just gave that guy 22 million that came out of nowhere. That to me, the math ain't mathing on that. Just to say that you're gonna give the dude 22 million out of nowhere. I feel like low key, I do believe this to a certain extent. I feel like the Trent Grisham accepting the qualifying offer caught them off guard a little bit. Like I'm wondering if when they got the call, like it might have been silent at that table whenever Cashman when that phone call was done. Like I could see it going like this. Like I could see like Cashman getting a call and being like, "Hello?" Like he accepted the offer? Like, "What?" And then just puts the phone down and just like sits there and just leans back and like I could see him doing like that, being like, "Oh my god." Like I can't believe that he just accepted it. That's like if you've ever played fantasy football and you just like acts like you just send your friend a random trade and he accepts it and you're like, "Oh shit." Like I didn't know that. I don't even know if I wanted to do that. You know what I mean? So I don't I don't know. I do feel like to a certain extent though that Grissom stuff could holy shit, guys. The Seahawks tied the game up with the with the Rams. It was like 30-13. My God. They're in OT. Sorry, I gotta put that down in there. Watch that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if he's holding them back. I certainly believe that like where they're at right now in terms of like what the center field market offered, they were probably comfortable offering Grisham that money, bringing him back. They know what they've got, but it's just to me, it's one of those things where $22 million is a lot of money to be paying a guy that was a career like 230 hitter, and then you were speaking about he came out of nowhere. And then we're looking around like where'd all the money go? Like that's kind of what it's like. I mean, I feel like they might have been a little caught off guard that he accepted it because they might have believed that he was gonna go test that free agency and get a longer deal. So I don't know. What was my reaction when I was traded to the Yankees? So when I was traded to the Yankees, I was actually rooming with Bradley Zimmer. I was on the road. I got up. I went to the bathroom. It was like 8:15 in the morning. I checked my phone before I went back to sleep, and then I looked at my phone and was like, "What the?" And I had a bunch of screenshots and text messages from a bunch of people being like, "Yo, bro, that's crazy. That's awesome. Yankees, yeah." And I'm like, "Yankees." And so when that happened, I went to Twitter and saw that I was traded to the Yankees, and I didn't even know. No one had called me. Not a single person called me and told me that I was traded yet. I found out on Twitter that I was traded. So it's it wasn't it wasn't great, because in my mind, I knew the way that the Yankees navigated in terms of like they probably aren't going to call me up. And here's the thing, guys. Like I say this, like this is me just like saying it. I'm not trying to boast or be this. The Seahawks just picked that ball off. The Indians gave me the most money that they've ever given a player in the draft. So when that happened, like I thought for sure because the situation that I was in with Cleveland being the fifth overall pick and whatnot, I thought that I was gonna get like a legitimate chance there. You know what I mean? Like I still believe that like when I got traded, that was one of the worst things that happened to me because I backed up the best player in baseball for the majority of my career and then had some concussion stuff. So I feel like the trajectory of my career significantly took a right turn a little bit whenever I got traded. So yeah, I mean, I think about that quite often whenever I talk about baseball with people, they'll always be like, dude, it had to have been awesome playing for the Yankees. And I'm like, yeah, to a certain degree, bud, to a certain degree. So yeah, yeah, I found out on Twitter that I was traded. No one called me. Then I got a call a little bit later of someone being like, dude, we traded you. And I remember like texting with my agent on the bus because I was starting to see that there was some like trade rumors. And like I was looking around, guys. We'd be hitting batting practice and there'd be 40, 50, 60 scouts in our stands because our high A team or our double A team was pretty loaded with players. And so I remember texting my agent and was like, what do you think the chances are of me getting traded? And he wrote back, if there's a percentage less than 0, that's what I think. And I got traded the next day. So so I didn't he didn't he didn't know that one. So, yeah. Weren't you holding up? Weren't you backing no, I wasn't backing up Lon. Lon was in the bigs. Cashman didn't read the outfield arc. Oh. Yeah, I mean, no, I didn't fire him. He fired me probably, it feels like, because I haven't talked to him in a while. Yeah, now you got a bunch of Yankee fans following your post career. Yeah. Hey, I'll say this though, if I was a prospect for the Cleveland Indians only or a flame out for them only, I don't think the podcast should be doing as well. So there are, double-edged sword. Drop the Yankee bomb every now and then whenever these companies try to reach out and try to get me to do some work with them. I'll Yankee bomb works. So, we'll see. Yeah, Judge was there on the draft day. Yeah. Hey, here Clint Torres. Yeah, he went back to the Padres. Yeah, Yankees did some stuff to the boy. That's for sure. Tigers signed 4 pitchers to a minor league deal. Michael King, man. I mean, has anyone been on Twitter? Like, what is Twitter? I bet. What is Twitter saying? What is Twitter saying? Let's type in Michael King. Got the hiccups. Yeah. People aren't happy. Padres fans are happy. Michael King faking injury last year just to save the Padres money and win a Cy Young in 2026. Let's rock. Let's rock. I think the Yanks are just trying to run it back. You were great with the Yankees. Did you play any? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, guys. Curious what the I'm curious what the Yankees are gonna do. I feel like they're in a situation right now where everybody's looking at them, not blinking. Like they're not blinking at all. No fans are blinking. They're waiting to see if they're gonna make a move. And they got all eyes on them. They got all the talk show radio hosts giving their opinions. They got all the fans, all the news, people like me, everyone that the foot's on the gas. You know what I mean? The foot is on the gas with the Yankees right now in terms of pressure. And they are going to have to make some kind of move happen. And as the offseason continues to progress, and you see consistently that the players that the Yankees are linked to are falling off of the board, they will be forced to make a move. And it could be a move that Yankees fans love, or it could be a move where we see that they gave somebody a dumb amount of money that nobody thinks should have gotten that. Because sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. And I don't know if they're going to do it. I think that they might. I think that they might, pivot and go after a guy in the trade market. Maybe they're willing to give up some players in that department. But Michael King coming off that board hurts because when I was thinking about what the Yankees rotation would be like when they're healthy, it would be Max Fried, Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Cam Slittler, and then Michael King or switch Michael with Cam or Michael with Carlos, whatever. I was thinking like that lineup right there is bulletproof, or that rotation is bulletproof right there. And so to know that, there's a big difference between Michael King and Luis Hill and Will Warren. There really is. The gap's pretty far. When they're all healthy, Michael King has got some of the best stuff in baseball. Some of the most uncomfortable at bats that players will be off Michael King, and his arm angle is unique. His arm, you got to start thinking about how that arm angle with certain other pitchers coming in the game. Like hear me out, okay? This is going to be something that I'm going to forecast for you guys when the Blue Jays come around to town, or when the Yankees go to Toronto, right? When Trey Yesevich hops on the mound and he goes from his arm slot that's literally like this, you know what I mean? Straight over the top. And then they pull in the next reliever, and it's Trevor Rogers or Tyler Rogers, whichever one it is, they're twins. And then the dude that throws submarine, and you start treating these arm slots like a clock. Yesevich is all the way up here, and then all the way down here is going to be Rogers, and you start messing with the arm angles after these guys come in to pitch. It's hard for hitters to make adjustments on the fly. So when you have a guy like Michael King, who has kind of that three-quarter arm slot, and then you bring someone in with either the same one or a different one, and it's a different look, pitches move differently out of arm slots. So I was hoping that they got King back just from that standpoint of the at bats are really uncomfortable for people. So Ime, are we see what's are y'all just saying that? Ime? Imai, or how the fuck do you say that dude's name? See what they got. Jack Curry says, "Stay tuned with the Yankees and Tatsuya Ime." I don't know how to say it. That stay tuned didn't seem optimistic from the tone I heard it in. I feel like it's just going to be him being like, "Yeah, they're about to say that they can't get this guy." So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. I do believe that, yeah, to a certain extent, they're playing a dangerous game right now. They're gonna wait till after Christmas probably to make a decent move, and who knows what that market's gonna look like after Christmas, and if it's gonna be, the guys that they even want. That's really what it's gonna come down to, is are the players that they're gonna go after even players that they wanted? Where do they slot in terms of interest level? Were they the first on their board, the second, the third, the fourth? Like, because when you start trickling down and you're like, dude, this was the fourth, fifth, sixth guy that we wanted, it's like, why? What what are we doing? You know? So for me, it's just, yeah, I mean, Tatsuya getting 175, it's gonna eat the budget. If they get him, if they get Tatsuya, is there even a world where you can get Cody Bellinger? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get one of those guys, is the other one immediately off the board, off limits for him? That's the that's the thing. I think they really got to decide between themselves or amongst themselves, like, what direction are they going to go? Because when you look at it, like, again, I feel like if Tatsuya is even remotely in the realm of what Yamamoto is, we just all watched Yamamoto close out that Game 7 World Series. You could assume that that guy is a legitimate ace, ready to make his mark in the United States and be the next top guy. And so for me, what part of the game can the Yankees play with a little bit more in terms of, is their starting pitching good enough to where they could, like, not go after Tatsuya and then go after Cody Bellinger? Because I feel like they need to add another hitter. You know what I mean? Like, they need to. Like, they gotta add another hitter more so than their starting pitching in my mind. So, as much as Tatsuya is a guy that I think that they should go after, I think that if they're gonna give the money to Tatsia versus another player, they should reconsider some thoughts and maybe back the Brink truck up to Bo Bichette or Cody Bellinger or somebody. But again, that team's gonna look the exact same next season. It's gonna look so similar. It's gonna look so similar. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. E Huh. More close to Kodai, is it Kodai Senga? The ghost, the ghost pitcher. Yeah. I feel like the Yankees should just, like, put their nuts on the table and come out and just be like, "We're gonna like, we're going after Cody Bellinger." Just say it out loud, you know? Instead of being like, "He's in play." It's like, well, what does that even mean, you know? Listen to the verbiage that they use for things sometimes. They use things where, it sounds super, like vanilla, and you can't really read what the answer actually is. Like, are they actually gonna get him, or is it like he's still in play? Like, what does that like actually even mean? Like, I know that you're talking to the guy's agent, but are you seriously talking to him, or are you just texting him? You know? So yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys are pretty optimistic with this stuff. They do need listen, when with the Ryan McMahon stuff, I've been talking about that all podcast my entire, like, podcast's existence. The price tag that guy comes with, what is it, 32 million over the next 2 years? Mm, 'cause here's the thing, I'm gonna find out I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I say this jokingly. I'm gonna find out a lot about y'all based off how you respond to what I'm about to say right here. I'm gonna find out if you guys let bygones be bygones, or if y'all can move on from the past. But all right, Strike, you beat me to it, brother. You beat me to it because I was saying bygones be bygones in the past. Ryan McMahon is the fact that Ryan McMahon is making 32 million over the next 2 seasons is a huge problem at the time that Alex Bregman is a free agent. Because if you were to look at the product of Alex Bregman side by side with Ryan McMahon, I think that maybe Ryan McMahon's defense is better. I'm not a defensive guy, you guys know that, but offensively, it's not even close. So if we're thinking 32 million over the next 2 years, or 16 million a year that you're giving this guy that's a defensive first player, and then Alex Bregman is on the market, and you didn't even have a chance to go after him because you made that trade at the deadline last year for whatever reason. Like, that was one where I felt like somebody got drunk and made a trade. And so I've been saying this all off season that oh my God, hold on. If you guys are watching this Thursday night football game, the Seahawks are in overtime going for two. Never mind. Rams call a timeout. Um, I've been saying all offseason that Bregman should be at the top of the Christmas list for the Yankees, position player wise, right next to him and Cody Bellinger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta seriously consider the fact that third base needs to look like third base again. Alex Bregman would be a great addition in Yankee Stadium, and I don't know. I mean, Jason, if McMahon has a great season, then then kudos to them. But wouldn't you feel like right now that, like, if you knew you had Alex Bregman and or Ryan McMahon, you'd probably be like, I don't feel like the difference is you wouldn't have to be sending a text message being like, low key, he's gonna have a decent year, like convincing people that the guy's gonna have a good year. For the most part, people just know that these guys are gonna have a good year. I gotta pause for a second because the Seahawks are going for two to try to win this game in overtime. These are nuts. These are big nuts right here. Are they called a timeout, both teams. So I don't know. I was hoping that Bregman was going to be a Yankee. I feel like if you were to trade Ryan McMahon, you're going to have to eat some of that money. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to eat some of that, and I don't know if anyone wants that. Yeah, here we go, baby. I don't know if you guys are watching this Thursday night game right now, or if y'all are just dialed in on what the Red Roach is saying, but it's getting I love it, man. 37-36 Rams in overtime. Seahawks are about to go for 2 to end it right here. Oh, were they really plus 1.5? Dude, the NFL is rigged. The NFL is rigged. Here we go. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Don't leave. Just stay. It'll be entertaining. I feel like the Seahawks are gonna get this. They got it. Ball game. I was gonna take the Rams tonight if I bet. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna take the Rams because they were plus money. Thank God. Thank God. Do you guys think that sports are rigged to a degree? Like, because they did just choke it. Who do I have winning the Super Bowl? All right, let's talk about that for a half second. I got my pick. I'm gonna type it in. I'm gonna type it in. I'm gonna type it in right here. This is who I think's gonna win it. But this is maybe they're not gonna win it, but this is who I think right now. Watch the fuck out. I'm talking about this season, this Super Bowl, not next season, this Super Bowl, the current season's Super Bowl winner. That's who I got winning it right there. Oh, nasty. Their defense is insane. Their defense is insane. I got the Texans. I got the Texans, guys. I'm not gonna lie. My only problem with the Houston Texans, and it sucks to say this because like a year ago or 2 years ago, like everyone, it's a complete opposite. CJ Stroud might be the reason that they lose if they do. You know what I'm saying? Like if he locks in and he doesn't turn that ball over and he plays ball the way that he played whenever he broke into the league, mm, Houston Texans defense can kill people. So yeah, that'll be sick. But yeah, let's oh, Texans defense is the best defense in the NFL. It's not even close right now. There's a lot of good teams. I mean, who would have thought that the Seahawks would be where they're at, you know? And then the Rams are juggernauts, and the juggernauts just got their heads cut off right there. But you know, there's a lot of interesting teams like the Patriots doing what they're doing, the Bills doing what they're doing. I think the Ravens came back from being what 1-6. So the super like that, and then another thing is we got the college football playoffs coming up this weekend. Oh my god. If you guys don't know, I live in Georgia and people down here they bark and they bleed red and black and they love their dogs. So the college football playoffs coming up is going to be sick. I'm going to be betting on that. I'm going to be betting a few dollars on that. Hey, Aiden, thank you. I just said it, a few bucks. I'm gonna be betting a few bucks. I'm gonna throw that 4.99 on a team this weekend. I do appreciate the dono, as always. I'll say this every single time. You guys do not have to do that. Please don't ever feel obligated to donate to the boy. But it's sick that you guys actually do that. I do appreciate that. So thank you. Thank you for that, Aiden. Either I'll bet that on the dogs or I'm gonna get that coffee with that. One of the two. I need to work on this. Mata, you're in here. Hold on. How do I? Do you have anything to like? Is there anything that we could do with the chat? I saw some people claiming like super chat last night, and I don't know. I don't know how to. I feel like when I was on Twitch, I had a friend that would do like the they weren't emotes, or maybe they were emotes. Like all my emotes were like Jordan ones and all this stuff and whatnot. So I would love to like get a leaderboard. Yeah, like, but I'm not on Streamlabs. So do I need to be on Streamlabs and attach that to this live? Because I saw that if I was gonna invite a friend, I was gonna ask somebody to join, and then I realized that I had to download like Streamlabs and all that stuff, and I was like, I barely even know how to do YouTube Studio. So super chats will just pop up and have them pop out. That I'm not sure if you want layouts and okay, so you can get, like, crazy layouts and stuff on the YouTube lives too? That's good to know. I definitely should get the Streamlabs, but at that point, wouldn't I have to go get, like, an Elgato like, capture card and because 'cause I'm streaming off of my, I got my MacBook, my M4 MacBook plugged into my YouTube studio or my Mac Studio desktop. So, I know that, like I know that I have a PC set up over there in the corner that has an Elgato capture card on it, but I wonder if I could then plug it would be I don't know if ChatGPT could help this guy with that. That'd be a lot. That would be a lot. Like, unless some of you guys are absolutely dialed in that department, I don't know if I could do that tonight. We're not gonna do that tonight. It's too late to do that, but yeah, I do have the OBS, but I have it all on, like, my PC, you know what I'm saying? So but again, I mean, if this is too boring and you guys wanna see this look better, I'm open. I'm open to it. I'm open to anything and everything. So, we'll, keep it rolling. Let's see what we got. I'm not gonna lie, guys, my videos have been sucking the last couple of days, not getting any love. None. Salute, Donnie. Salute, my guy. My videos are barely crossing the 1,000 mark now. It's depressing. Problem is that the average view duration is down, and that's what's causing the videos to not get pushed that much because my click-through rate is good, and I'm actually spitting facts. That's what bothers me, is that I put good content out and the views are not kicking. So, yeah, I'm grinding, guys. Daniel Clark, what's up? Nice to meet you too. Yeah, guys, listen, join in. Be sure to like the stream. Do whatever you can to help the boy continue to further his channel. We're building an army here. We're gonna build. This is the Red Roach's army. You can't kill any of us. Okay. Sooner or later, all of us are going to be leaking in to be in the front office for the New York Yankees here pretty soon at the rate that we're going. So hit the like button, subscribe. I changed the settings today to where you can only comment in the chat if you were subscribed. I'm leveling up. I'm figuring this stuff out, baby. Figuring this out. Yeah, I mean, I called my Twitch gaming setup. It was like the gulag. All you guys are my prisoners is what I was running with. But I mean that's funny as fuck to say. But the Red Roach thing is it's it's my favorite name I've ever heard. The Red Roach, baby. So we're gonna roll with that, I think, for now. Just keep it rocking. Can't kill the Red Roach. Who's my favorite team in the NFL? Well, this season it changes every season. I follow guys year to year. I do the same thing with baseball. I don't really have a favorite team, favorite player, but right now I'm dialed in on the Houston Texans. Absolutely dialed. Nico Collins is one of my favorite wide receivers. Um, and so that's it for me. I want to see the Houston Texans take it home this year. So, Daniel, I used to be on Twitch. I have a channel. I don't do a lot. My streaming is not as entertaining on there just because I play like college football and stuff. But for me, it's got a wife that doesn't want to just sit and hear me screaming at college football games all the time. So as far as college football goes, I'm torn. I'm torn because I didn't grow up like a diehard UGA fan, but obviously I live in Georgia and I see the way that they play, and I think that they actually have a legitimate chance to win the college football championship again this year because they do every year. But um, I like watching the dogs play. I really do. I think that they get a lot of slack. Uh, but if I were to pick a team outside of the dogs to win, let's just go through it right now. Let me just look at this college football playoffs. Let's see. Okay. Game start on Saturday. That's going to be interesting. Oregon's going to beat the hell out of James Madison. Okay. Alabama and OU. Wow. Oklahoma's the favorite now. Tulane's going to kill or get killed by Ole Miss. Low key, I think Texas A&M is going to beat Miami. I think they are. I think Texas A&M is going to beat Miami. I think if we're talking about a sleeper team in the college football playoffs, because I'm talking about the Texans defense, Texas Tech is really good too defensively. But Texas Tech's gonna have to face up with Indiana or Oklahoma or Alabama at some point if they advance. So that'll be tough. I like that Georgia might have to play Ohio State. I like this season. I don't like it that they put some of the people in the like. I don't love that Tulane and James Madison are in the college football playoffs. I don't know if you guys saw Nick Saban said that letting them in is like the equivalency of letting the team in AAA that won the championship in the World Series. So yeah, I mean, Gary, listen, brother, I'm open to streaming with other people. Got to be somebody that you think me and his personality could bounce off each other pretty well. So I don't really know what Fireside Yankees content is like. Maybe I'd have to watch some of their stuff to get a feel for how they run their channel. But I'm open to it. I mean, I guess like the overwhelming. Get, can somebody type in the Yankees channels that they all listen to? I see Fireside. I know that my op is in here. The Pinstripe Territory, that's the op. Um Anyone else? I don't really know a ton of the other ones. The Shift. Interesting. Are all of these channels like Jason can help me with my overlays? Jason, are you that guy? Are you that guy? Are you able to do those things, bro? Because I don't know how to do none of that stuff. You know, I just depend on my guy to make these thumbnails. New York Yankees Underground, Talking Yanks. Spencer Jones reminds you of another Aaron Judge. That is that's a bold statement. You think he's going to be able to play the same way that he does, or is it just because the size, or what? All right, guys, hold on. Keep him. Hold on. Hold on. Don't be. Hold on. Hold on. Don't stop sending your don't stop sending your Yankees YouTube channels if you haven't. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Hold on. Keep sending. Um, I'm writing these down. Hold on. All right. So what I'm seeing is Fireside, John Boy, Yankees Underground, and Pinstripe Territory. I can't add 161 River Ave just because this poll is gonna only allow me to do 4. But I'm gonna start another poll. Okay, keep him fuck, I can't start another poll. Y'all just gotta work with that. Sorry. 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 Damn. I gotta see these numbers. Those numbers are changing fast. How come I can't see the poll? All I see is does all it show you is who's number 1? Oh, there we go. Now I can see it. These numbers are changing fast. I gotta all right, while y'all are doing that, I'm typing in NYY Underground YouTube channel. Let me go see if I seen this dude or those dudes, whoever they are. NYY Underground. 53,000. God, what am I doing wrong, people? All right. Interesting. I've never seen these guys. Are they leading the pack still? Hold on. NYY. Damn, you guys are dialed in on John Boy too. That's close. That's like 1 vote difference right there. All right. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't think that John Boy is going to bring me on or would have any interest in bringing me on. I don't know if NYY Underground. I could go on foul territory again. Those guys actually approached me about my podcast being on their network. I actually had, I think I've had 3 meetings with foul territory. I think that's where it's done. But I think it's been 3 with foul territory. And yeah, I don't right now I'm not at a place where I want to sign with anybody. Brother Natural, welcome back to the big leagues, buddy. Welcome back. I don't know where you were, but you must have been on a rehab assignment or something. Welcome back. Yeah, I mean, look, if you guys want to see me on their show, y'all should definitely reach out to them. Maybe I can reach out to them. Do they have an Instagram? Pinstripe Territory is the fucking op, dude. That guy's the op. That guy. The guy did me dirty, people. The guy did me dirty. Let me type in 161 River East or River Ave. 161 River Ave. Let's see. Trying to, dude, all these guys' channels are so much bigger than mine. It's embarrassing. So much bigger. Jason. So Jason is 161 River Ave. Okay. I see that. Keep rocking with that. Checking out their channels, trying to see. Pinstripe called me a cat lady. Oh, Pinstripe commented on my video and told me that I fucking sucked, basically, is what he said. So the good for him. But that felt really good. But he felt really good smash and submit on that one. Picking on the guy with CT, you know? That's nice. So I don't forget. I don't forget. That's for sure. So we're gonna just keep look, we're gonna just keep grinding. You know what I mean? I'm writing down names, you know? Writing down the names, and if he wants to comment on my channel, by all means. Wait a minute, was he saying stuff on his show? Has he said stuff on his show? I hope he said stuff on his show. Appreciate that, Andrew. Appreciate that. It's always fun to see who comes out of the woodworks. You know what I mean? That guy, he called me a cat lady on his show. Did he really? He said I was a cat lady. What the fuck? Someone clip that. Go find the clip. Put the clip. Send me the clip. Show me the receipts. Somebody show me those receipts. Don't be If Pinstripe Territory called me a cat lady on a show, I'm gonna release the hounds. I'm gonna get him, but only if he says, "Cat lady?" You know what makes this even more funny? I told you guys last night, I'm about to go get another cat tomorrow, I think. I'm about to name the this cat's name is this cat's name is Billy, but I'm gonna name her Buffy. But this is what I think I'm picking up tomorrow. Hold on. Look at those teeth. So, he can call me the cat lady, but I'm a good person. You know, there was actually a podcast a few years ago, Yankees related, that made some, like, crazy comment because it was around the time that I was, like, doing some, like, like, maybe I didn't talk to the media or I was slashing out in their eyes, and this person said something about, like, 95% of the people that own cats, like, they get infected with this thing, and it neurologically infects them, it makes them, like, some kind of a person, and I, like, ended up actually, like, looking into it and was like, "What the fuck is this guy fucking talking about?" And so everyone goes to the cat stuff. Like when the fighting words come out with me, cat stuff is always brought out, you know? Used to be that or the concussion stuff or, you know, but the cat comments is that to me is just like interesting. They're not calling me a ginger. I tried to Google today to see if my dog was autistic, and bro, did I go down a rabbit hole. Trying to find out if the dog's acoustic, man. I see that. I understand that. Clint, I don't think he said that, but seriously, what's the point of going back at him? No, I mean, I'm all like just joking around. But, if he did call me a cat lady, then maybe I'd have to call him something else. But I'm not there, you know? My show is about me. Yeah. No, look, guys, I'm not like I'm more so just stirring the pot with you guys. I'm not actually being serious. Because I don't care what he has to say. It doesn't bother me. Um, But what does bother me is whenever I look at these channel sizes and think to myself, like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? So let me put you in my mind. What did you just say? Prefactor? Exactly. The kind of petty that you're in for. This is my kind of petty. So when I saw the comment of being like, maybe it's because you just suck, I was just like, huh. I clicked on his page, saw that he existed, saw how many subscribers he had, saw how many viewers he's getting, and the thought in my mind was like, "I'm about to take all those viewers." That's my goal. So that's my goal. Take all their viewers, provide a product that they cannot provide. They cannot provide. He cannot provide the insight. He cannot provide anything that I can provide. And so the more that we're rocking people, I'm enjoying this. We're going on and on this journey together. You know what I mean? This is fun. I never thought that I would be sitting in my house on a YouTube live stream with 54 people and counting, and we're just going back and forth about me being a cat guy or about if someone's dog's autistic or what podcast I should go on. I mean, this is fun. This is endless content for me. So, this is fun. You're going off the dome. They usually have a yeah, no, hey, I don't have scripts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have scripts. Certainly, sometimes I'll like write a few things down just so I don't forget it. But I really am. Whenever I go in the lab, I'm talking because I'm talking from like a firsthand point of view, like actually having interactions with people that I know are decision makers, and so that's why it is a unique angle right now to for I'm assuming for some of you guys to see that there is a player that used to play in this organization that's actually kind of saying some stuff that we might have thought was true all along. And then, as time goes on, you see some things that I say trickle out into the public, and then they end up being true. Like I said the other night, the Sonny Gray thing, like I was on that months ago. And then I've said stuff about how they should like do better with their prospect stuff and how they should like work the minor league system better. And then you obviously have Didi Gregorius in years past being like, well, they were doing this in the minor leagues. They can't like there's a bunch of us that feel the same way, but no one's like ever really said it. And I'm not doing this show just to be a grifter or somebody that, goes after the Yankees. I mean, obviously you're sitting here listening to me, and if you've heard me say stuff, it's like I'm saying like I want to see them sign these guys. I'm not sitting here being like screw those guys. Like that doesn't that doesn't that doesn't do me any good. You know what I mean? I don't think that you guys just want to sit here and hear me go go WFAN on everybody. I'm not like a dramatic person. I'm just honestly trying to give a point of view that I hope that you guys receive well and that you like. And as time goes on, and the more that I get comfortable doing this stuff and learning the way of YouTube and this channel, it's like this channel can turn into a cool show. You know what I mean? Like the more that this goes on, the more that I think that I'll be able to get some of the guests that you guys want. I think that I'll be able to maybe get some stuff out there, that's different than what I'm doing right now. I think that the more that it grows, the more that you'll see that it will like legitimately be like a segue for me to bridge the gap to get some of these players or personnel on the show that you guys actually want to see because like I'm not like in no disrespect to anybody, but there are times in the past whenever people would ask me to come on their podcast and it would just be like, I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to go on everybody's show. So when I'm that person now and I'm seeing that there are people that might not want to come on my show, it only makes me want to grow it bigger. And I can only grow it bigger with good content and resonating with people that are watching. But obviously, you guys will help me to a certain extent grow bigger. So the bigger the channel goes, the better it's going to be. I mean, I told you guys the other night that I'm going to get Doug Allen, the creator of the Entourage show and movie, on here. He's a big Yankees fan, had the couple Yankees on his show whenever he did it. We're going to talk Yankee baseball, and I'm going to go from there. So I'm working on it, got to get my feet underneath me with the show. I don't know if you guys just want to see like Yankee people on here. I don't know if you're open to having players outside of the Yankees organization on here because I don't know how much Yankees like I could talk with them, but I think that other players that aren't affiliated with the Yankees, I might be able to get on here more than players that are affiliated with them. So I think that that's something that we could work through. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are open to other players that have zero affiliation with the Yankees, then I can certainly try to uh try to bring some of these guys on. It's the ones that have affiliation with the Yankees that don't want to really do it because I think that, I don't think they want to be attached to some of this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I can work on it. I mean, I have some people in mind. I mean, here's the thing. Since the chat is rolling and everyone's awake and we're all doing it right now. Yeah, CC Sabathia is not coming on this show. Let's be real. Let's be let's be real, dude. That guy's not coming on. Not coming on. All right. Send a group of names of players or people or anyone that you want to see on here. If I see a few of the same names, then I'll reach out. But I don't think that CC's ever going to come on the show. Definitely won't. Hey, listen, when it comes to the CC stuff, because I've never even said it. Your guess is as good as mine why he doesn't like me. Because when I found out that he didn't like me, I found out at the same time as you guys. This dude has been on my nuts for years now on social media, posting about me from afar, but had plenty of time to say these things to my face when we were around each other every single day. And so I found out at the same time as you guys that CC has a problem with me. And so for me, it was just like, that's cool. That's cool. So there you go. Cameron Maben. That's a guy that I could reach out to him. Jason Dominguez, Nick Swisher, Jeter. I don't have that kind of pull. Sup Wardy? Mets fan, have been covering them for years, including the New York Post. Saw your comment saying you should work with them. You definitely should. Wait, do you work for the New York Post, Wardy? If you do, Woody, are you a New York Post person or what? Let's see. Oh man, hey, Wardy's got pull. People are saying, "Wardy, what's up, Wardy? Wardy, you are you you work for the New York Post, my guy. All right. Well, tell him to hit me up or put me in contact with somebody. DM me on Instagram if you actually work for the New York Post. I do think there's an angle there, right? I do. New York Post has written about me numerous times, and to see that the dude that wrote the last article about me. Now, let me just phrase it this way, Wardy. Okay, put me in touch with the right guy. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Wardy. We'll get. I'm gonna get to that when I clicked that article. Okay, the article title was what it was. It was like ex Yankees player says Yankees should trade these guys, right? But when you go and you click on like if it was like on the tab browser at the top of my internet browser, the title says ex Yankee bust. And it's just like like what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? So they love to like I'm gonna detach the name bust from me and just start putting like ex-Yankee concussion fiend next to me. I'm getting a bad rap with this with the word bust getting thrown around with my name because I was like one bad sneeze away from a concussion multiple times. So when you put it that way, it's hard to say someone's a bust when their head was the reason that they couldn't play. When I played, I was fine. So Wardy, if you actually work for the New York Post, DM me on Instagram and put me in touch with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Put me in touch with somebody so I can so I can reach out to them. I feel like I do feel like there's an angle for it. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely an angle where the New York Post and Clint Frazier can be one. And so I'd be open to it. I don't know what that would look like, but yeah, appreciate that, Wardy. That'd be sick. Nice to meet you. Thanks for dropping in. Mets fans are always welcome here. We're not just straight we're not even just straight Yankee stuff right now. We talked about college football, we talked about all this stuff. Have you ever heard of Jason AK 161 River Ave? I saw his channel a minute ago, checked it out. I'm open to everything. Yeah, they're gonna be baity as hell. That's how these things work at times. Always listen. Shout out to the rail riders for life. Yeah. Hey, Wardy, look, we've been before you joined. I don't know if you were here, if you were just like phantom watching from a distance, but we're talking about people for me to collab with. We're talking about channels for me to go on. We're talking about people that make sense for me to get along with in this YouTube space because I got an op now. I got an op. I got an op in the Yankee podcast world. And so if me and you are gonna lock arms and we're gonna take on that op together, let's do it. But if not, we should if the group wants me to do something with Wardy, we'll do it. Because right now the John Boy's leading the charge for who I should do a podcast with, and I don't think they ain't gonna wanna do that. That's for sure. So, King of JUCO, that guy has millions of subs now, right? I was blown when I saw that he was in Mr. Beast video, I thought it was fake. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was fake. I had to go to Mr. Beast's channel to see if that was real. And then I saw that it was real, and I was thinking to myself like, "Holy shit. Like, how did he blow up?" You know? Like he was like a meme YouTuber, and then all of a sudden it's like, yo, he's getting millions of views on these videos and he's putting out like good content, going and trying out for teams, being an umpire, throwing 95, bench pressing 450, hitting lasers and nukes, and just it's a cool story because I saw some stuff about him talking about how it's like really changed his life. So that's sick. King of JUCO is so annoying. My bad. Want to hear something pretty cool? A few years ago, I streamed gameplay of RBI baseball and interest by the Yankees, and I would end up hitting grand. That's right. That's right. Shout out to myself for giving you that ability to hit a grand slam right there. Appreciate that. Has CC ever contacted you one on one? No, no. But you know what he will do? He'll comment on everything that I start doing. Honestly, sometimes I post something and I'm waiting for him to comment. You know what I mean? Waiting for him to try to shut it down. So, what do you think about analytics and technology involved in baseball? To me, it is not to my cup. I think the technology stuff in baseball is fascinating. You know what I mean? I think that there's a lot of I think there's a lot of like good use for it, you know? Um, but as far as it dictating every single part of the game, it's tough, you know? I don't love the thought of it like dictating the lineup all the time or who goes into what position and whatnot. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. There you go. Get that out there. Do I think that the Yankees will ever invite me to Old Timers Day? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If they invite me to Old Timers Day, there's gonna be a sniper on the roof that's gonna take me out, I bet. You know? I don't I don't think that that would be in my best interest to, to take up an opportunity to go back in there, you know? I don't think that they would, I can't imagine that that would be a good decision for me to make. Yeah. Hey, Lil I's, E's, L's. I can't tell from that far down there. Yeah, saw Michael King sign. Someone broke it on here. We didn't even believe him. We were just hanging with the gang, you know? And and he signed. So hey, everybody in here, if you haven't, hit the like button on this. Help me out. Get the thing going. That'll help me. That'll help me roll. Nick Swisher would be a good guy to bring on here. Nick definitely, you know, he showed me some love whenever he was around. I think he thought that I was like him a little bit, but then I think he thought that I was a lot different than him. Um, his energy is insane. Got a lot of energy. I thought about asking Eric Burns, um, former baseball player, plays a lot of pickleball, but like Eric Burns is pretty big on the podcast and stuff right now. I thought about him. He's got a lot of energy too. So Tyler Wade is the guy that keeps popping up, right? And so Tyler told me that he would do it, but I don't know if he just signed. He probably might be very cognizant of what he says on my channel. And again, like I said last night, Tyler knows better than anybody what I'm capable of. So I might scare him a little bit. But I do believe with Tyler, if I were to bring him on, that I would probably and like to help him out and to like nudge him in the direction of coming on the show. I think that I would need to send him a list of questions that I want to ask him. And that way he could look at it and get comfortable with the questions that I'm going to ask. And then if I stay in that direction, then we'll go there. And so, yeah, if you, yeah, Tyler Wade's the man. Tyler's good. I was in Houston for your homer, seeing you. Love to get in contact with you and talk ball. We're talking ball now, man. This is this is the time. Would Yasmani Grandal be interested? You know what? Yasmani Grandal on the mic. So one thing that I don't know, I mean, I'm assuming that you guys have heard this before, but in the big leagues or in the minor leagues, whatever leagues, on road trips, there's a lot of downtime sometimes going from the airport to the hotel. So they'll put you on the mic. They'll make you like they'll ask you like random questions and just like, you know, they'll get pretty far down the rabbit hole sometimes with what they ask. But Yasmani Grandal on the mic is funny. Like, because Yasmani Grandal at face value is not that funny. But on the mic, he's really good. Eric Kratz is another guy that's good on the mic. Um, He's good. I wonder if I could bring him on the show. Maybe not because he's with Foul Territory, but maybe, I don't know. Um, yeah, do I live in Atlanta? Yes, I live in Atlanta. Where though? But I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. No one wants Ellsbury, huh? Brett Gardner might be a harder one to get on the show right now. You know, circumstances for him are extremely different than majority of our lives right now. So give him his space, guys. Demon mode just showed up. This is Poppy. Poppy's a bad boy. So would my woman be interested in coming on the show? Absolutely not. My wife is scared that I'm down here doing this. My wife thinks that I should be muted on this mic. I think that she gets worried about what I'm gonna say, you know? It's a bad boy right here. Soto when he retires. Soto don't know who this guy is. I don't think he wants to. I would need to have my channel at a very very high amount of subs to get some of these people that y'all are mentioning because some of these people will look at me and probably think like that's not going to do anything for me. So the bigger that we look, guys, the bigger that the channel gets, the more notoriety it'll get, the more that people might actually look at my channel and be like, that would be a fun one to go on. So I appreciate you thinking that my humor is good. Just try to be myself, you know? Just try to be myself. Just just hanging with the gang, you know? AJ Burnett should be in your show. Is he on social media a lot? Is he active? Do you still keep in touch with any current Yankees? No current Yankees, more of the uh people that are employed with the Yankees are who I keep in touch with. Oh, Jason, you're on the radio for ESPN. You gonna shout me out or you're gonna call in? Wait, did I say Jason? Hold on. Jonathan. Jonathan, your picture looks like you're pretty young, dude. Is that your son? Or are you the youngest employee with ESPN New York Radio? Or are you just gonna call in? Oh, you call in. I need to call in. I need to call in. Do they just let everybody in? Like, is there a long list of people that you think call these radio shows? Because I need to be calling in. I actually have had a few radio shows reach out to me from New York asking if I would call into their radio, and I didn't just because, you just never know anymore. Chance Adams. That I haven't heard that name in a minute. I haven't heard that name in a minute. Get Andrew Velasquez. Are you guys just like saying every random player that you can think of that had Yankees affiliation, or do you actually want to like hear from Chance Adams or any of these guys? You know what I mean? Do you actually want to hear from these guys, or y'all just I can't assume that y'all want to hear from everyone. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you guys should just only be asking me for like Spanish speaking people that couldn't even talk if you're being that funny because I can't. Poppy's got something to say. Yeah, I mean, if you want their stories, I don't know I don't even know how to get in touch with some of these guys. Hey, easy, Dewey. Easy. The comments towing the line. Worse. Worse. Keith McPherson is somebody that I bet I could get him on the show because I got his email You know what I mean? I've got his email. I bet I could get him on the show. Um, but it's didn't he just quit WFAN? I think I saw something saying that he's gonna be done or that his life was changing a little bit and that he was gonna have to take some time off. And so Keith could be a guy that I could is he rolling right now? Is he live? Is he late night? Yeah, he took a break. Oh. Yeah, we could listen, we can start figuring out, get a Rolodeck of names, start going from there, figure that out. I think something else that I'm figuring out right now, I gotta wake up relatively early, so I think I might go till 1 AM. So we got like what, like 22 more minutes? Is that cool with you guys? Got like 22 more minutes. I gotta wake up and go get Buffy, you know? I gotta go get that cat. Gotta go get I gotta go get Buffy. Look at this thing. Tell me that's not no one wants to adopt her. How could you not want that? Like, she has an overbite. How could you not want Buffy? Dude, I didn't get anything from the Supreme drop, but what I wanted was the camo hoodie. I really wanted it. I love the stuff. Coach Antonelli. I saw his name. Y'all saying Antonelli baseball last night. What is let me look that up. Antonelli baseball. How and when you get paid in the MLB? Who is this guy? Former first round player. Wait a minute. What does this guy do? Is he just he's a coach? Who's your favorite? I got the Yankee shirt and the Chicago hoodie. Yeah, y'all want me to talk? Do y'all watch him? Does he? I'm trying to figure it out. Does he just do drills or does he like talk? He's got a lot of subscribers, dude. He has 800. See, these are a lot. He has videos with 800,000 views. That's a lot of money, guys. Like when you start talking about like getting 800,000 views on a video, dude's got 140 million views on his channel. What am I doing? What am I doing? That's like I'm like batting like 108. I reached out to Didi. Didi did not say no. He didn't say yes, but he didn't say no. So I bet I could get him. I bet with a little more like nudges, I bet I could get him. I mean, if you guys want me to reach out to Antonelli Baseball, I could certainly do that. It seems to me like he's doing something that what I just did, yeah, with the whole school thing that I was telling y'all about last night. I haven't launched it yet, but I made the profile, so it's in my bio. Again, I don't know if any of you guys are young baseball players or got kids that are baseball players, but there's this program called School, and it looks like as I'm looking at Antonelli baseball, it looks like he kind of does his own thing similar to that. But I'm gonna be doing some like hitting stuff. I think like just like helping people out, like talking, doing some overlays and whatnot. So the school stuff is something that I'm gonna work with because they don't really have a baseball presence on there. They have two guys, right? They have one guy that made it to low A. I looked him up. He made it to low A. He charges $500 a month. He makes 25 grand a month on that app. And then the other guy, he made it to triple A. He charges 299 a month and he makes about $11,000 because it shows you the clients that you have. And then I was looking at myself and was like, I wonder if I should do that. You know what I mean? Wonder if I should do that. But then let me be honest. Look, I got all y'all here right now. Can y'all give me some real life point of view from this? Because this is my thought, okay? Because I'm in the middle of like I'm actually mean this. I'm not just saying this. One guy, like I said, he made it to low A. He's charging $500 a month. Okay. 25 grand is what he's making on that app. The other dude, he made it to triple A. I actually played against him a few times. He made it to triple A. He's charging 299 a month. I feel like it should be flip-flopped. I feel like the triple A guy should be charging the 499, but then I'm like looking at it and I don't know if you guys know. I talk to ChatGPT more than I talk to anybody. And so when you do the numbers, like, and it's like, yeah, 499 a month is a lot, but 499 a month is basically 5 hitting lessons if you're going to a guy with that's $100 because I know a bunch of people that charge $100 an hour. So I think that when I was looking at it and I was like trying to come up with like a price that I was going to do for this, I was in a tough spot because when I went into it, the price that I had in mind was way different than the price that I saw that these other guys were charging. So when I saw that they were charging that, I was thinking to myself like if the guy in low A is charging 499 a month, the major league player, what is that number? You know? Because that's the hard part. And so I haven't posted it on my social media because I know that the second that I post it, that people will look at that and be like, again, I told you guys, like my social media is like an atom bomb for negativity. You know, it's a dark place out there whenever I post some stuff because people are insane. So I thought to myself, whatever price that I came up with that I posted, if I post it on my social media, then everyone's just gonna be like, "Yeah, right. There's no way." You know what I mean? If I like, I'm looking at what you guys are putting right now, 800, 1,500, 750, 900 with a promo code. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, if I post that, there's no way that people are gonna sign up for that. You know what I mean? And so for me, this yeah, again, that's exactly, Jonathan, what I'm getting at here is that for me, there's there's a whole element to this that I wanna talk about, where I wanna do some stuff where it's like, you know, I break down some hitting stuff. Like, let's just say that you guys send a video to me and you send a video to me and you tell me what you think you're doing wrong or what you want to work on. And maybe I can look at it. I have all the editing tools to edit it, to voice over, to talk through it. I've even thought about maybe like me going to a batting cage, um, and maybe me filming a video of me doing a drill that could be beneficial for something that the players or the people that are sending in to me. And so I'm interested in this school stuff because again, it's one of those things that given the fact that I dedicated my entire life to this stuff, I do know like a surplus amount and I would like to potentially do it. But the price of what other people have put theirs at is what's messing with my mind because I don't want to be that asshole that's just charging so much that people don't, you know what I mean? That people don't wanna do it. So, but again, it's all like relative to what the person wants to pay because, I would make sure and I mean, you have my word if I were to do it, like I would actually give it a good experience, you know what I mean? I would do whatever I can. So, I wanna do the school stuff, but as far as like what you guys think, like, even if there's people like, if there's anyone in here that's listening that's thinking like, "You know what? I have a friend that might pay for that," or, "I have a son that I would pay for that." The last thing I would ever want is to put a price where it's like someone's like, I can't do that," you know? Because for me, it's not so I can outprice it to where people can't afford it. It's just like I looked at it and competitively speaking, like the market for it, I was like, "This dude charging 500?" So, I haven't posted mine. Um, I haven't posted it. I wanna post it. I think I'm gonna do some stuff Saturday, film a few things for it. Maybe I'll post a link. Stay tuned 'cause the comments back from my link are probably gonna be something like, "This guy's a fucking asshole for the price," you know? Yeah, I mean, Shrek, the 300 is a number. See you, Alex, thanks for joining. 300 is a number where I was just like But, like, hear me out, guys, like, I have a hard time with that because it's not about, like, comparing it, but it's like, if a guy is getting he has so I think he's charging $4.99 a month, and I think he has about let me try to see. I think he has about 49 clients, right? And so when you do that math and then you factor in the percentage that they'll probably take from, whatever he's charging, I was like, "Golly." You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna charge? Because I'm looking at it like this is something yeah, he's got 45 members, 4.99. So, that's his link right there. That's his thing, the blueprint. So, uh, that's yeah, I mean, if you paid like, listen, yeah, people will pay stuff, I get it. I mean, I know that there's a market for it. It's a matter of I just want people to understand that I wouldn't be trying to be like an asshole. But here's the thing, and this is what I'll say this to y'all because I got y'all's attention about it. I have thought about dropping the link, okay, and putting the price at a certain price. And let's just say 300, okay? 300, $400. I thought you were let's just say 300 bucks. I could do the first 20 people if I even get 20 people, but all the people that sign up for the first wave of people, I think I would be willing to grandfather those people in for the long haul of the terms, And so if you were one of the first 25 people that join and you get the price at the first price that I drop it at, which might be lower than what I actually want to finish it at, then I would raise the raise the price as it went on. And then the rest of the people that sign up, that would be what they get. But if you were one of the first X amount of people, you would get it at a cheaper price. But yeah, I'm looking at it. I have a 14-year-old and I spent so much on lesson stuff. For me, the expo is cool and all the results. Yeah, I mean, Jason, it's exactly that. I mean, everyone has aspirations for their kids to work with people that are good and to be really good. And I think that I have a lot to offer from the side of um just like I've been there, I've done that. I can really like speak the language of a lot of people. And I think there's a lot of little things in baseball that as the channel continues to progress and we talk about like things that I see with these hitters, because obviously I'm not sitting here and watching the Yankees players in real time right now, but as it goes on and whatnot, like I think that the more that I talk and the more that people hear it, they're gonna be like, this isn't I haven't really heard it this way, and I didn't come up with all these theories on my own. I was taught them by someone that I trust and I learned along the way. And I think that there's still a desire in me to maybe wanna to a certain degree, like do something, maybe to a small amount, and maybe it would start with the online stuff because I think the online could be just as important as the in person stuff, because who you're seeing in person, if they're not someone that you trust, then the online guy, if you do trust him, then everything's beneficial. I wouldn't be able to do that right now, New York City, Jesse James, because I wouldn't be able to get it on maybe I would actually. I could share the screen. Probably could. I mean, I think you breaking down film on Emmy. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I want to do is I want to break down the stuff and show you guys what I would do because everything that I'm going to talk about. Here's the thing, New York City, Jesse, with how young your son is, my fear is that I don't I've never worked with an 11-year-old kid before. You know what I mean? I've never worked with a kid, so I know that, like, the thoughts and the terminology that I would use, like, it could be very basic and it could resonate well, but I would be scared to, like, overwhelm a kid that young and them not know what they're doing, so I think that if I were to work with these kids, it would be very beneficial for the parents to be there, obviously listening along the way and hearing how I'm saying it, so you could be the eyes and the ears for your kids applying it, because the way that an 11-year-old's brain is gonna work versus the way that ours will work and how you might receive it versus how he might receive it, it can be very important in terms of helping them apply these things. So, um, it would be really cool. I mean, I do believe that there's certainly some opportunities for me to do that, especially with the live stuff, guys. Like I said this in the past and I'll say it again, like when baseball season rolls around, we're gonna get around some stuff and I'm gonna figure out the way to do it. But what I plan on doing is if the Yankees are doing a series that week, you know, let's say it's a couple 7 o'clock games and drop the video at 3 p.m. Give people enough time to watch the video and to take it in. And I'm gonna try to put like the pitcher on in the video that the Yankees are facing. I'm gonna show his stuff. Okay, so let's just use I'm gonna again, I used him last night. Let's use Chris Sale, for instance, right? It's like this would be the kind of stuff that I'll say on the video because I think it's like really important. It would be kind of cool for you guys to hear it. And then if you're watching the game and you had watched my video before it, you could be sitting there and kind of like be seeing like what would be like the right approach, what was a good swing, what was a bad swing. So what I'm gonna do with some of these videos in the future would be let's use Chris Sale, for instance, right? Like Chris Sale is a really big left-handed pitcher. He throws extremely far across his body. So with Chris Sale, you would have to really think as a I'm just going to use a right-handed hitter. So I would say in the video that with Chris Sale, you have to be okay giving him a certain part of the plate. And what I mean by that is that if the plate is 17 inches wide, you have to know that all 17 inches of that plate is going to be extremely hard to hit Chris Sale successfully at. So you have to decide, do you want right down the middle?